Gorgeous, round and large 1.43-inch AMOLED display, the ability to make and receive phone calls, support for over 100 plus sports mode, and up to 10 days of non-stop use. This is the Lunar Connect Plus from boAt, and it's yet another smartwatch in the Lunar series that comes with round dials, which I personally prefer because it looks more like traditional watches. The square ones look a bit more fitness oriented. This is almost like the best of both worlds. It's got that timeless circular design, but it's got spirit of a fitness watch. So the watch is going to be available on Flipkart at a special launch price, and you'll find the link in the description, so if you want to go ahead and buy, you can do that. But first, let's talk more about the watch. The first thing that stands out is the bright, colorful and sharp AMOLED display. Actually, very few watches in this price segment provide AMOLED displays, and even fewer that come with such high brightness levels and a size that's 1.43 inches. So the brightness on this goes up to 600 nits, and that's amazing for outdoor viewing. It does not have auto brightness, but you can just tap here and change levels very quickly. Of course, the display comes on as soon as you raise your wrist, and that's something that you can turn on or off from within the watch settings. There's also always on display, by the way, so the watch looks extremely good with a low powered watch face. And you can decide whether you want an analog or a digital always on display, or you could just turn it off completely. The display also has this raised edges that gives it a very classy premium look. The bezels are quite obvious, but you grow used to it very quickly. At the back, you've got these sensors and microphones for calls, and that's where you can connect this charger to charge the watch. Now, I've got the blue body here with me. There's also a black and a pinkish or rose gold kind of color options for you. Also, these straps can be changed, but you'll have to get something that matches this blue frame. And by the way, the watch does withstand sweat and water splashes. So, if you're having a sweaty workout or if you're running in light rain, this will be fine. Also, the watch is capable of receiving and making phone calls. So you can easily just use this watch to have a quick conversation without even touching your phone. You get a call, pick it up, start talking. You can even just open the dial pad and dial in a number, or just go through your favorite contacts here and connect with them. Now, obviously for this, your watch has to be connected to your phone using Bluetooth, and when I tested it, it sounded pretty nice and clear to the person on the other side of the call. And actually, it's got something called as ENX technology. Basically, it reduces noise around you using AI so that your voice sounds very clean to the caller on the other side. It's very similar to what your phones from boAt use for improving call quality. Needless to say, the watch, like most other smartwatches, also tracks and monitors your vitals. It can measure your heart rate, blood oxygen levels, and even stress levels. It measures your steps and monitors the calories you burn. A quick swipe on the watch will give you all of that data. And yeah, all of this data can be accessed for previous days and weeks as well. Now, I do get asked a lot of times about the accuracy of this data, of the sensors. And look, at best, the data that you get from these watches are very good reference points. So you take the watch, measure whatever it is you measure, and use that as a base. And then just see how much better or worse you get from that base. Never use any of this data for medical purposes, especially for diagnosing, and this is actually true for any smartwatch. The watch also tracks your sleep and gives you data on the quality of your sleep, including REM and your deep sleep duration. You can also get sedentary alerts on the app, so you get frequent reminders if you're sitting for too long and just motivate you to get moving. Speaking of health tracking, the watch also tracks and monitors over 100 sports modes or sports-like activities. So you could just go into the watch, choose from amongst all of these activities here, and then set a duration or a calorie burn goal that you might want to hit. Or even just go into the app and decide which workouts you do more of and just get those featured. And the watch has quite a few features built in that really pushes you to achieve your goals. And all of this can be managed using the boAt Crest app, which is available on both Android Play Store and the Apple App Store. First, you can build a custom workout plan. So depending on your current status and where you want to be, you can just really tweak stuff and build out a workout routine that's really geared towards your goals and fitness objectives. And then you get these weekly plans that you can follow. Second, you also get access to some workout videos explaining the right technique and the right kind of exercises that help you achieve what you set out for yourself. You can also build your own group of fitness friends and track each other's progress in terms of activity. so you could invite your friends and just work out towards a common goal. In fact, even have like a bit of competition and maybe use this as sort of a leaderboard. But other than all of this, the watch does have other standard features that you'd expect from any smartwatch in this price segment. It connects to your Android or iPhone. You just download the boAt app, select Lunar Connect Plus, and pair your watch. Takes less than 30 seconds. But do keep one thing in mind, that whatever functions or apps that you get on the watch is all you get. You cannot install any third-party apps from a store of any kind. But again, this watch has pretty much everything that you would need from any watch in this price segment. You get these beautiful watch faces that you could switch to from the watch, or go into the app and access these from the gallery. Click and apply, and the watch face gets installed on the watch. And because it's an AMOLED display, all these watch faces look absolutely stunning. In fact, you could choose your own background and a time format if that's what you want to do. You receive all kinds of notifications on the watch, whether it's a text message, an Instagram DM, an incoming call, or an email. You can't reply to these notifications, but you can give things a quick read. There's also Find Your Phone feature built in, so you can make your phone vibrate and get a sense of where you misplaced it. You can set your alarms from within the app and you'll get the alert on your watch. You can play, pause, or change tracks from controls right here on the watch. Oh, and there's also a camera controller on the watch that basically controls your camera, and your watch functions as a remote to take photos. So that's something cool. Oh, and on top of all of this, there's also AI assistants built right in. So you could just tap here and activate the default AI assistant. And in my case, because I'm using a Samsung phone, it's got Bixby. But for you, it could be Google Assistant if you're connected to a Google phone. It could be Siri if you're connected to an Apple device. So you basically click on Tap to Talk and ask, what's the weather today?
Today in Delhi, it was haze from 12 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a high of 32 and a low of 23.
And so the way it really works is that when you give your voice prompt, it sends it to the phone, fetches the response from the phone, and it just gives it back to you through the speakers. So it works. Now, let me quickly touch upon the battery. So it's got 300 milliamps of battery capacity, and that's good enough for it to last you 10 days with non-stop use. And in fact, if it's just lying around, it can do so for 30 days without emptying the battery. But obviously, if you keep the Bluetooth calling turned on, or if you keep the brightness levels at the max level at all times, it's not going to last you 10 days. It's going to be smaller than that. Just something to know. It charges with this USB cable, attaching itself magnetically to the back of the watch, and charges up fairly quickly. Alright, so that's pretty much it about the Lunar Connect Plus. I think it's a pretty good watch to consider in this price segment. It's lightweight, it's got a beautiful large display, super battery, and the most important thing, very reliable in terms of connectivity and functionality. And again, it's going to be available on Flipkart for a special launch price. So you'll get the link in the description. Go ahead, check it out. That's it, guys. If you have any questions about the watch, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll definitely reach out to you and answer those questions. I hope this video was really helpful, and if it was, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification icon. And mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.